Solomon sat at the craps table with a familiar sinking feeling in his gut. He'd been here before, too many times to count. The hum of the casino floor, the clinking of chips, the murmur of voices, and the occasional cheer of a lucky winner used to thrill him. Now it was just background noise, blending into the repetitive cycle of his life, the chase, the loss, the desperate hope of a win that never came. The all-tall-small bonus bets sat on the edge of the felt, taunting him. Solomon had lost a fortune chasing them. The concept was simple. If the shooter could hit every number between 2 and 6 for the small, 8 and 12 for the tall, and every number between 2 and 12 for the all, without rolling a 7, he'd hit big. The payouts were astronomical, 30 to 1 for the small, 150 to 1 for the all, and another 30 to 1 for the tall. But hitting it, that was a dream he couldn't quite grasp. He glanced down at the last crumpled $1,000 in his wallet, his paycheck from the warehouse, rent money. He should leave now, while he could still make it back to his apartment without having to explain another bad night to his landlord. But instead his fingers itched, curling around the chips like they were an extension of his body. He wasn't walking out of here on another losing streak, not tonight. With a deep breath, Solomon slid his chips across the felt, placing bets on the all, tall, and small. Last roll, he muttered under his breath, though he'd said that countless times before. The stickman passed the dice to him. Nervously, he selected his favorite 2 dice out of the group of 5 and prepared to start his roll. His hands trembled slightly as he set the dice and tossed them across the table. Solomon's heart thudded in his chest as he hit a 5, then a 4. "Good start," Solomon whispered, his eyes darting to the tall and small sections of the table. They were filling in slowly. A 2 came next, then a 9. The table started to buzz as the bets on the field increased. More chips flooded the center of the table, but Solomon was laser-focused on the bonus sections. 8. 2. The small section was almost full now. Only the 3 and the 6 remained. Solomon's hand wobbled as he picked up the dice again, but when he threw them, they bounced perfectly, landing on 3. A murmur of excitement ran through the crowd. "One more for the small," the guy next to Solomon muttered. The dice clattered again. 6. Cheers erupted as the dealer reached over to cut out $775 in checks, announcing the all-small win with a satisfying thunk. 30 to 1, he called out. Solomon's heart raced as the dealer pushed a stack of chips his way. It was a nice payout, but his eyes were locked on the tall and the all. Could this be it? Could this be the night everything changed? Solomon had to reset. His next toss bounced off the back wall of the table, higher than he normally aimed for, but the dice ended up landing softly on a 12. Then another 8. The tall section filled in quickly after that. 11, 9, 8. Just the 10 remained. Solomon's mouth was dry. He hadn't blinked in what felt like minutes. His fingers curled tightly around the edge of the table, anxious to see what the next roll would be. The dice were passed back, and his hands visibly shaking, he exhaled slowly. He threw, and the dice clattered across the table, bouncing into the air before rolling to a stop. 10, hard 10, center field 10, said the stickman. For a moment, the table was silent, the weight of the impossible sinking in. Solomon stared at the dice, uncomprehending. Then the cheers erupted, louder than anything he'd ever heard in his life. Solomon noticed 2 large stacks of checks in the come section of the table. "Tall, pays 30 to 1, said the dealer as he pushed $775 to Solomon. "All, pays 150 to 1, the dealer called, pushing $3,775 in a mountain of chips towards Solomon. He felt dizzy, like the air had been sucked out of the room. The win, the kind of win he'd chased his whole life, was real. His hands trembled as he reached for the chips, the stack so high it looked surreal. Solomon didn't care about the cheers anymore. He didn't care about the people patting him on the back, congratulating him. He was holding the one thing he'd been chasing for years, a chance, a break. For the first time in a long time, Solomon was walking out of the casino a winner. And tonight, he swore to himself, would be the last roll.